Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out for another beer review. Tonight we're checking out one of the latest special releases from AleSmith. This is their Hall of Fame Imperial 394 Pale Ale. They brew a year-round pale ale called San Diego 394 Pale Ale. I told the whole story. I did a review on that a while ago. It was one of my first beer reviews. I actually did that before they were bottling it. Long story short, 394 Pale Ale was a beer that Tony Gwynn wanted to brew and bring with him every year to the Hall of Fame. They collaborated, and sadly he passed away a couple weeks before the beer was released. So never got to see that beer come out, which is a bummer. But his 55th birthday was a couple weekends ago, and AleSmith decided to brew like an Imperial version of the 394. They sold the bottles. The money from the bottles, they say, is going towards the Tony Gwynn portion of their new brewery that's being built. And apparently people lost their shit about it because these bottles were $25 a piece. So there's people on forums that think that $25 is a ripoff and ridiculous and way too much for an Imperial Pale Ale. I say, whatever. The money's gonna get spent on beer either way. So if you want to check out a beer, then check out a beer, whatever. But yeah, stoked to try this one. 394 is one of my favorite beers. It's always in my fridge. That one's a 6% hoppy pale ale. This one is 9%. And I guess they just kind of took the 394 and imperialized it, so to speak. So want to check this one out. They just bottled this, not this past, what is today? Tuesday? No, Monday. Today's Monday. They did it I just picked these bottles up this past weekend, so it was 2 weeks ago that they bottled this and did the release party. Didn't make it down for that, unfortunately, but this beer is I think it's about 2 weeks old at time of recording. So looking forward to this one. Admittedly, I'm a total baseball fan. I wasn't a Padre fan. I grew up in Northern California. I'm a Giants fan, but respect everything that Tony Gwynn, did, obviously. And I respect how big of a figure he is here in San Diego. So, hey, if you want to pay $25 for a bottle of beer, fucking pay $25 for a bottle of beer. Like I said, it's going to get spent either way. So, pouring this one out, this is a crystal clear, kind of like a dark amber color. Awesome bright white head on that. About probably a finger and a half. Super packed tight white bubbles around the edge of that. That looks like a West Coast style IPA in the glass right there. So I could smell that as soon as we open it. So let's go ahead and check out the aroma on this one. Wow, huge nose on this one. Tropical fruit and citrus right away. They just kind of jump out of the glass. Pineapple, tangerine. There's some like sweet kind of oranges in there. This this smells a lot like the 394 does. It's got like that dank kind of like earthy kind of cat pee thing going on, which people always say, why do you say that? That's kind of disgusting. It's kind of a turnoff. It's not a bad thing when it comes to like dank hoppy beers. There's sweet hops in there. There's something like that dank kind of piney resinous cat pee thing going on. The nose on this beer smells great. It smells like a like a jacked up version of 394. So let's go ahead and check this out. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's really, really nice. If you've had 394, the base beer is there. You get that just really tropical, fruity, pineapple, mangoes. There's a little bit of grapefruit. Middle of the mouth, you get a cool, nice little bitterness. Grapefruit peels. And then on the back end, those kind of sweet, juicy hops are there to really balance this out. There is a little bit of warmth going down on this one, but you don't really taste it on your palate. For a 9% beer, this is really, really easy drinking, very refreshing. This is actually kind of reminiscent of AleSmith's regular IPA, which is a killer beer if you guys have never had that. Awesome beer. This is kind of along the lines of that. Super West Coast. Finish is really dry. That bitterness kind of lingers, but that dank kind of like grapefruit, sweet orange, tangerine thing going on. I mean, they're calling this an Imperial Pale Ale, not an Imperial India Pale Ale, and I think it's great. This is really, really good. Those sweet hops, man, that like sweet tropical fruity right up front is great, because then you get that bitterness middle of the mouth, and then those sweet kind of citrus notes come back on the back end of that. Really, really good stuff from AleSmith. Is it worth $25? I don't know. What is worth for a beer? I mean, people spend, you know, 60, 70 bucks on a barrel-aged beer. Maybe not. I mean, for, you know, a pale ale, they're not really taking up room in a brewery like barrels do, and you're not kind of sitting on, you know, real estate and can't brew other stuff while you're aging beer. So maybe it's not worth that, but the beer is damn tasty. And if you want this, you have to trade for it. But I would definitely recommend this one. And the bottle's killer. Look at that bottle. That's super cool. Really, really easy drinking for 9%. I mean, I could get myself in trouble with a couple of these, that's for sure. As far as the grade goes, I don't know if I was doing like numeric grades when we did the 394. I mean, that beer for me, that's one of my favorite pale ales, up there with, you know, Zombie Dust. I mean, if I were to give that a grade, probably like a 94. This one kind of takes that and just, I mean, it just like raises it. Like it takes that 394 and just kind of bumps it up a little bit. So for a grade for me, I'd go 95 on this one. Solid A. Really, really tasty stuff. If this was, you know, 14, 15 bucks, I think people would get it and they would absolutely love it. But because of the price tag, a lot of people are going to pass on this, and you guys are going to miss out on a tasty, tasty beer. So, yeah, good stuff from AleSmith. The Imperial Hall of Fame Pale Ale, 9%. If you want it, you got to trade for it. So, I'm gonna wrap this one up, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.